All right, 8.7 is our last section on graphs and plots. So again, we've looked at a bunch of different examples. 8.7, we're looking at stem and leaf plots. So it says a stem and leaf plot is a method for visualizing data in which the tens digits of the data points are written in a column and the one digits are written in rows next to them. The tens digits form the stem and the one digit are the leaves. So here's an example of a stem and leaf plot. So if you look for the stem, we only write it once. So we have 3, 4, and 5, and then our leaves create the other numbers. So the 3 in the stem and the 4 in the leaf would then make 34. The 4 in the stem and the 0 in the leaf would make 40. And so you would just read that 34, 36, 38, 38, etc., etc. So each stem you just write once. If you have multiple leaves, that's fine. Like if you look for the leaves to go with the stem of 5, we have 2 zeros because we have 2 50s. For the 4, we have 2 47s. For the 3, we have 2 38s. Also notice that there's a little key down here that says 3 line 6 equals 36. When you have a stem and leaf plot, you always need a key to explain what they represent. So down here we have some observations that you can see. More students were in their 40s for their sit-up count, because if you look, there's more leaves in the 40s than anything else. There are 3 modes. The mode is the one that shows up the most. 38, 47, 50, they all appear twice. The median value can be found by counting to the halfway point. So you can just work your way to the middle and figure out that our median would be 46. And then the range is also really easy to find because you just take your biggest value, 52, subtract your smallest value, 34, to get a range of 18. Now in that first example, we were working numbers like 47, 50, so just tens in ones place. If you look down here, we've got an example where there's more than one number in the stem. So if you look down here at our key, it says 19 line 7 equals 197 points. Our leaf is always just the ones digit. We cannot have more than one digit in the leaf. Our stem can have as many as we want. So if you look at these stems, they all have 2 digits. So our key says 19 line 7 is 197 points. So if you look at like 23, the stem of 23 and the leaf of 8, you have that would be 238. That's how you would read that. So here, there's some tips for making your own stem leaf plot. It's really a great idea to put your data in order from least to greatest before you even start, because when it goes into the stem leaf plot, it has to be in order from least to greatest. You can then count how many leaves you have to make sure that's the number of data values you have. Those numbers need to match up. Have to have some sort of key, just like up here, 19 line 7 is 197. Need some sort of key, and of course you need a title. Underneath that, there's some things that you can uh, read from a stem leaf plot. It says 4 things, but then there's 5 things listed, so there's a little bit more. You can easily find the least value and the greatest value. The least value is just going to be your first leaf. Greatest value is going to be your biggest leaf. The mode, the one that shows up the most. How many data values. Again, you just count up how many leaves are. That's how many data values. And the median, of course, would just be the leaf that's in the middle. So if you look, um, here's an example of stem and leaf plot. You can easily find the mode. If you see, we have 4 zeros that go with this 2, which is more than anything else. So we know that our mode is 20. 15, 16, 19 have quite a few as well, but 20 has the most. Okay, this example, you can really easily see what the lowest stem is. It's just going to be the first one, 3. Uh, example number 2, you can tell that 19 students took the quiz because that's how many leaves there are. And then you can also see the highest stem, which in this case would be, or sorry, the highest number, which would be 20, because 0 is our highest, our furthest leaf along. All right, that's it for stem and leaf plots. Again, if you need any help with this, just ask your teacher and they can walk you through how to construct those.